Today I want to show you this really nice Glacier Blue MGA. We're outside, it's a little windy, the sound quality isn't very good, so we won't be out here for a long time. But Eli's going to pan over this car and show you how nice it looks. Except for the Weber, it'd be nicer to have a set of SUs on it. But it's a real interesting, real straight car. And inside the car, painted the same color as the car, we found this. What is this? It's a mystery. Now, Casey says it's the hydrosylator. For those of you who watched the special on Henry Ford's evil twin back in the 90s. So here it is. Here's the hydrosylator. It came out from underneath the dashboard on this MGA. You see it has moon crystals inside and a banger. And it's got screws. Maybe they're contacts. So the question is, what in the world does this thing do? What in the world is this? You know? And we don't really have a clue. You know? So if anyone knows what this is, maybe you can, it used to have a label on it. You can see it in outline of a paper label. Has an electrical connection. What in the world is this thing? So anyway, hey, I got another exciting thing that I want to show it to you, and that's a clutch disc that gave us a lot of problem. We went to change the clutch in a TR6, and there's a special pressure plate for the type of installation that we were doing on this TR6. So we put the clutch disc in, like we always put clutch discs in, and put it in correctly. And geez, the clutch disc threw out just at the right time. There were no bizarre things like that, only that it wouldn't come to complete rest at idle, and it was impossible to engage in reverse. So you turn the car off, put it in reverse, start it up, it was just fine, let the clutch out halfway up the stroke and take off. So anyway, we're in a real jam about this clutch disc. We call the people that supplied the clutch disc and the other pieces. He goes, boy, must be the spigot bush. Didn't seem like a spigot bush to me, but hey, they're the expert. So we take the gearbox back out of the car, and sure enough, we found a little ridge on the spigot bushing. So maybe it was a spigot bushing. So we chamfered that and put the gearbox back in. No change. We must not have chamfered it enough. Take it back out. Really chamfer the spigot bush. No change. At this point, it's like, what's really wrong with this? So we take it all back apart and examine every single piece. So this is the replacement clutch disc here, okay, made by McLeod Clutches. And if we take a look at this screwdriver laid across here, you'll see that it lays horizontally on the clutch disc because the center of the disc, the center of the hole, is perpendicular to the plane of the disc. The one that we were replacing this one runs on an angle. You can see this. Okay, so this one, this is on an angle. It's not square. So as you spun the clutch disc, I can't do it here, but it wobbled, so it never really separated from the flywheel. So it was always carrying the motion. As time goes on, you know, the factory parts were always correct. I want to say that. I mean, there's always errors, there's always mistakes, there's always flaws. But the factory parts on all of our cars, Triumphs, Austin Healey's, MGs, the factory parts were always really, really good. Now, there aren't any factory parts. There haven't been factory parts in years. Some replacement parts are absolutely excellent. Some aren't. So, before fitting any new part, at least give it a cursory examination and just make sure that it does look okay. And if something's odd, call somebody, call your supplier, call someone who knows, and ask them and say, is this right? Because if it's a clutch disc, you got to take the transmission out, you got to take the flywheel, the pressure plate off the flywheel. It's not a small task. Well, that's about the news for today. We look forward to talking to everybody again on Thursday. Thanks for your notes and letters. Reno was a really good time. Next time I'm out is Mad Dogs and Englishmen in Kalamazoo. Well, not Kalamazoo, but just north of there. So, until then, see you later.